Never, that's how many more times you need to buy fertilizer after learning what I'm about to show you. Not buy less fertilizer, not reduce your fertilizer costs, never buy it again, period. Because every single day you're throwing away the exact nutrients plants desperately need. Nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, all of it, right into your trash can, while simultaneously spending money at the garden center buying those same nutrients in bags and bottles. This isn't about composting, this isn't vague sustainability talk, this is about specific kitchen scraps transformed into specific fertilizers that produce specific results in your garden. Fast, powerful, free. I'm going to show you 10 kitchen scraps you're already generating, exactly how to turn each one into targeted plant food, which plants need which scraps, and what results you'll actually see. These aren't theories. These are working fertilizer recipes producing real growth in my garden right now. Hey there, fellow budget gardeners, welcome back to Plant Space Collective. By the end of this video, you'll never look at banana peels, eggshells, or coffee grounds the same way again. Let's dive right in. Scrap 1, Banana Peel Potassium BOMBS, $0. First scrap, banana peels not just good for plants, specifically loaded with potassium, the K in NPK fertilizer that triggers flowering and fruiting. Here, what banana peels actually contain: 42% potassium by dry weight, plus phosphorus, calcium, and magnesium. This is bloom-boosting fertilizer growing on a fruit you already eat. 3 ways to use banana peels, from fastest to slowest release. Method 1, banana tea results in 1 week. Collect 3 to 5 banana peels, chop them into 1-inch pieces, toss them in a large jar and cover completely with water. Let this sit for 3 to 5 days on your counter, stirring once daily. The water turns brown, that's potassium leaching out. After 5 days, strain out the peels. What remains is concentrated banana tea. Dilute this tea 1 part banana water to 5 parts fresh water. Use it to water flowering or fruiting plants once weekly. What I'm using it on right now: tomato plants starting to set fruit, pepper plants beginning to flower, rose bushes forming buds. Results I've seen: within 7 to 10 days, more flowers, noticeably more. The potassium triggers bloom production, fruits develop faster and larger. Method 2, dried banana powder, results in 2 weeks. Save banana peels until you have 10 to 15. Spread them on a baking sheet. Dry them completely in the sun for 2 days or in a 200-degree oven for 2 to 3 hours. They should be crispy and brittle. Grind the dried peels in a blender or coffee grinder into fine powder. This powder stores indefinitely in a sealed container. Sprinkle 1 to 2 tablespoons around the base of each plant monthly. Scratch it into the top inch of soil. As you water, nutrients dissolve and roots absorb them. What I'm feeding: all my container tomatoes and peppers get banana powder monthly starting when they flower. Results timeline: 2 weeks. You'll see darker green foliage, stronger stems, and accelerated fruit development. Method 3, buried peels, results in 3 weeks. Chop fresh banana peels into small pieces. Dig a shallow trench 3 to 4 inches deep around your plant, about 6 inches from the stem. Bury the chopped peels, cover with soil. The peels decompose over 2 to 3 weeks, releasing nutrients directly into the root zone. This is the slowest method but also the most concentrated delivery. All nutrients stay exactly where roots can access them. What works best? Burying peels when transplanting tomatoes and peppers. The decomposing peels feed plants through their entire growing season. Cost breakdown: banana peels, $0. You already ate the banana. Processing time: 5 minutes. Scrap 2, eggshell calcium, 4 perfect tomatoes, $0. Second scrap, eggshells, 95% pure calcium carbonate, the exact same ingredient in agricultural lime. Here, why calcium matters: it prevents blossom end rot in tomatoes, peppers, and squash. It strengthens cell walls in all plants. It helps plants absorb other nutrients properly. Without enough calcium, you get deformed growth, weak stems, and rotting fruits. Eggshells solve all of this for free. How to prepare eggshells correctly: rinse shells immediately after cracking eggs. Let them dry completely. This takes 1 to 2 days on the counter. Once bone dry, crush them. You have options. Smash them with a rolling pin for coarse pieces, grind in a blender or coffee grinder for fine powder. The finer the powder, the faster plants can use the calcium. I process eggshells in batches. I collect them for 2 weeks, dry them, then grind a whole container at once. This powder stores indefinitely in a sealed jar. 3 application methods. Method 1. Sprinkle crushed shells or powder directly around plant bases. Use about 1/4 cup per plant. Work it into the top 2 inches of soil. This provides slow-release calcium over months. Method 2. Make eggshell tea for immediate calcium boost. Boil 10 to 12 crushed eggshells in 1 gallon of water for 10 minutes. The heat extracts calcium quickly. Let this cool completely, strain out shells and water plants with the calcium-rich water. Use eggshell tea when you spot early signs of blossom end rot, that sunken, rotted spot on the bottom of tomatoes. The tea delivers calcium fast enough to save developing fruits. Method 3. Add whole crushed shells to planting holes. When transplanting tomatoes or peppers, throw a handful of crushed eggshells in each hole before setting the plant. As shells slowly break down over the season, they continuously release calcium exactly where roots need it. What I'm feeding with eggshells. Every single tomato plant gets eggshells in the planting hole plus monthly surface applications. Same with peppers and squash. These are the crops most prone to calcium deficiency. I also add eggshells to container soil mixes for roses and fruit trees. Both benefit from sustained calcium availability. Results I've documented. 0 blossom end rot this season. None. Last year, before using eggshells, I lost 30% of my tomato crop to blossom end rot. This year, with consistent eggshell application, not a single lost fruit. Stronger stems, plants stand upright better and resist wind damage. Greener leaves, calcium helps chlorophyll production and you can see it in the color. Cost breakdown, eggshells $0, you already ate the eggs. Processing time 10 minutes every 2 weeks. Quick pause. If this is already changing how you think about kitchen waste, hit that like button right now. It helps this reach more gardeners who need to see this. Do it right now. Scrap 3. Coffee grounds nitrogen boost, $0. Third scrap, used coffee grounds, not just brown stuff you throw away. Concentrated nitrogen plus soil structure improvement. Here, what coffee grounds actually provide. 2% nitrogen by weight. That might not sound like much until you realize you're generating this daily and it's completely free, plus small amounts of phosphorus, potassium, magnesium, and copper. The nitrogen promotes leafy green growth, strong stems, vigorous plants. This is especially valuable for vegetables in rapid growth phases. How to process coffee grounds. Collect grounds from your daily coffee brewing, spread them in a thin layer on a tray or newspaper. Let them dry completely for 1 to 2 days. This prevents mold and makes them easier to work with. Dried grounds can be stored in a container indefinitely or used immediately. Application methods that actually work. Method 1. Surface application. Sprinkle dried grounds around plants in a thin layer about 1/4 inch thick. Don't pile them. Thick layers form a water-repellent crust. Thin layers break down properly. Work grounds into the top 1 to 2 inches of soil with your fingers or a hand rake, or leave them on the surface as mulch. They decompose within 2 to 4 weeks. Method 2. Coffee ground tea for fast nitrogen hit. Soak 1 cup of used grounds in 5 cups of water overnight. Strain the next morning. This brown liquid is nitrogen-rich coffee tea. Water plants with undiluted coffee tea for immediate nitrogen uptake. Leafy greens respond visibly within days. Method 3. Mix into potting soil. When filling containers, blend coffee grounds into your potting mix. Use about 20% grounds to 80% soil. This slowly releases nitrogen as plants grow. What I'm feeding. Lettuce gets coffee grounds weekly. The nitrogen keeps leaves growing fast and tender. Tomato plants in vegetative growth before flowering get coffee every 2 weeks. Once they start flowering, I reduce nitrogen and switch to banana peels for potassium. Herbs love coffee grounds. Basil, parsley, and cilantro all show accelerated growth with weekly coffee applications. Important caution. Don't overdo coffee grounds. Too much increases soil acidity excessively and can inhibit some plants. Use them moderately, no more than one application weekly per plant. Rotate with other fertilizers. Results timeline. Within 1 week, you'll see darker green foliage. Within 2 weeks, accelerated growth and larger leaves. Coffee grounds work fast. Cost breakdown: coffee grounds $0. You already brewed the coffee. Collection time 30 seconds daily. Scrap 4: vegetable cooking water $0. Fourth scrap: this one surprises people. The water you drain from boiled vegetables. When you boil vegetables, water-soluble vitamins and minerals leach into the cooking water. Potassium, phosphorus, calcium, B vitamins, all of it. You're literally pouring liquid fertilizer down the drain. How to collect and use it. After boiling vegetables, pasta, rice, or eggs, let the cooking water cool to room temperature. Never use hot water on plants, it damages roots. Once cool, pour this water directly onto soil around plants. Use it undiluted. The nutrient concentration is already perfect. Which cooking waters work best? Vegetable water is richest. Potatoes release significant starch and potassium. Carrots, broccoli, green beans, any vegetable water works. Pasta and rice water contains starches that feed beneficial soil microbes. These microbes break down organic matter and make nutrients available to plants. Egg boiling water contains calcium that leached from shells during cooking. Critical rules. Only use unsalted cooking water. If you salt your cooking water, don't use it on plants. Salt damages plants and soil structure. It's toxic to most garden plants. Cook without salt when you plan to save the water for plants. What I'm watering. Everything, every single time I cook vegetables or pasta, that water goes on plants instead of down the drain. Tomatoes, peppers, lettuce, herbs, flowers, all of it. This isn't a special fertilizer for specific plants. It's a general nutrient boost that every plant benefits from. Application frequency. Use cooking water every time you cook. There's no risk of over-application. The nutrients are dilute enough that you can use cooking water multiple times weekly without problems. Results I've seen. Improved overall plant vigor, better color, faster growth, stronger stems. It's subtle but cumulative. Plants fed with cooking water consistently outperform plants watered with plain tap water. Cost breakdown: cooking water $0. You already cooked the food. Time investment $0. It takes the same time to pour water on plants as down the drain. Scrap 5: grass clippings nitrogen explosion $0. Fifth scrap: fresh grass clippings from mowing your lawn. Grass clippings are 4% nitrogen by weight. That's higher than most commercial nitrogen fertilizers, and you generate bags of it every time you mow. How to use grass clippings. Collect clippings after mowing. Use only untreated grass. If your lawn is sprayed with herbicides or pesticides, don't use those clippings on food gardens. The chemicals transfer. Fresh clippings work best immediately after mowing while they're still green. Brown, dried clippings have lower nitrogen content. Method 1: direct mulch application. Spread fresh clippings around plants in a 1 to 2 inch layer. Keep clippings 2 inches away from plant stems to prevent rot. Don't pile clippings thick. Thick layers mat down, block water, and start to smell as they decompose anaerobically. Thin layers allow air circulation and break down properly. Clippings decompose in 1 to 2 weeks, releasing nitrogen rapidly. You'll see growth response within 5 to 7 days. Method 2: grass clipping tea. Fill a 5-gallon bucket halfway with fresh grass clippings. Add water to fill the bucket. Let this steep for 3 to 5 days, stirring daily. The water turns dark green as nitrogen leaches out. Strain out the clippings. Dilute the grass tea 1 part tea to 10 parts fresh water. Use this diluted tea to water plants weekly during rapid growth phases. This is incredibly powerful nitrogen fertilizer. What I'm feeding. Corn gets grass clipping mulch weekly. It's a heavy nitrogen feeder and responds dramatically. Leafy greens like lettuce, kale, and spinach get grass tea every week. The nitrogen keeps them growing fast with tender leaves. Squash and cucumber vines in vegetative growth get grass clippings as mulch. Once they start flowering and fruiting, I reduce nitrogen and switch to other fertilizers. Critical tips. Let clippings dry slightly before applying. Completely fresh, wet clippings can mat down. Slightly dried clippings spread better and decompose without smelling. Never use clippings from lawns recently treated with herbicides. Broadleaf weed killers can damage or kill garden vegetables. Wait at least 3 mowings after herbicide application before using clippings. Results. Within 1 week, explosive green growth. Nitrogen works fast, leaves grow larger, stems thicken, plants show vigorous growth. Cost breakdown, grass clippings $0, you already mowed the lawn, collection time 5 minutes. Scrap 6, wood ash, potassium and pH adjustment, $0. 6. Scrap, wood ash from fireplaces or fire pits. Wood ash contains 3 to 7% potassium plus calcium, magnesium and phosphorus. It's free potash fertilizer. It also raises soil pH, which makes it valuable for acidic soils. How to collect and store wood ash. Save ash from untreated wood only. Never use ash from treated lumber, painted wood, or charcoal briquettes. These contain toxic chemicals. Let ash cool completely. Store it in a dry container with a lid. Wet ash becomes caustic and loses nutrients. Application method. Sprinkle ash around plants at a rate of 1 to 2 cups per 10 square feet of garden bed. Work it into the top 2 inches of soil. Apply wood ash in fall or early spring before planting season. This gives it time to integrate into soil. Critical warnings. Use wood ash sparingly. Too much raises pH excessively and can burn plants. Start with small amounts. Test your soil pH before and after using ash. If your soil is already alkaline above 7, don't use wood ash. It will make pH problems worse. Never apply more than 2 cups per 10 square feet annually. Excessive ash creates nutrient imbalances. Which plants benefit? Tomatoes love wood ash for the potassium boost during fruiting. Root vegetables like carrots, beets, and potatoes respond well. Fruit trees benefit from the calcium and potassium. Avoid using ash on acid-loving plants. Blueberries, azaleas, rhododendrons, and potatoes growing in neutral or alkaline soil don't want ash. What I'm using it on. My tomato beds get 1 cup of ash per plant in early spring before transplanting. That's it, 1 application annually. Fruit trees get 2 cups spread around the drip line in fall. Results. Improved fruiting and flowering within 2 to 3 weeks of application. Stronger stems, better disease resistance. The potassium does all of this. Cost breakdown, wood ash $0, you already burned the wood for heat. Collection time 2 minutes. Scrap 7, crushed EGGSHELLS plus vinegar calcium boost $0. 7th scrap, this is a variation on eggshells that delivers calcium even faster. The vinegar dissolves calcium from eggshells, creating a liquid calcium supplement plants absorb immediately. How to make vinegar eggshell extract. Collect crushed eggshells, about 10 shells, place them in a glass jar. Pour white vinegar over the shells until they're completely covered. You'll see immediate fizzing and bubbling. That's the acid reacting with calcium carbonate dissolving it. Let this sit for 3 to 5 days. The vinegar will completely dissolve the shells, leaving calcium-rich liquid. Strain out any remaining shell pieces. Dilute the calcium vinegar 1 part extract to 20 parts water. Use this diluted solution to water plants showing calcium deficiency symptoms. Blossom end rot, leaf tip burn, distorted new growth. Why this works faster than regular eggshells? The vinegar converts calcium carbonate into calcium acetate, which plants can absorb immediately. Regular eggshells take weeks to break down in soil. Vinegar extraction makes calcium available in minutes. What I use it for? Emergency treatment for blossom end rot. When I spot the first signs, I apply vinegar calcium extract immediately. Often it saves developing fruits that would otherwise be lost. Foliar spray on tomato plants. Dilute the extract 1 to 50 and spray directly on leaves. Leaves absorb calcium and transport it to developing fruits. Application frequency. Use weekly during fruiting period for plants prone to calcium deficiency. Tomatoes, peppers, squash all benefit. Cost breakdown: eggshells and vinegar $0. You already have both. Prep time 5 minutes. Scrap 8 fruit and vegetable PELS complete fertilizer $0. Eighth scrap all your other fruit and vegetable peels combined. Different peels contain different nutrients. Citrus peels have vitamin C and limonene, potato peels have potassium, carrot peels have beta-carotene and minerals. Combined, they create balanced, complete fertilizer. Method 1: Trench composting. Dig a trench 8 to 10 inches deep between garden rows. Fill it with chopped fruit and vegetable scraps, any peels, cores, ends, everything. Cover with soil immediately. The scraps decompose in 2 to 4 weeks, feeding nearby plant roots directly. Rotate trench locations so different areas benefit. This season, trench down the center path. Next season, trench between different rows. Method 2: Blended fertilizer slurry. Collect 2 cups of mixed peels, blend with 4 cups of water until completely smooth. Pour this slurry around plant bases. It looks gross, it smells like blended vegetables, but it works incredibly well. The slurry decomposes in 1 week, releasing nutrients immediately. This is the fastest method. Method 3: Fermented plant juice. Advanced method: chop peels and mix with equal weight brown sugar, pack into a jar tightly, cover and let ferment for 7 days. The sugar extracts nutrients and creates beneficial microbes. After 7 days, strain the liquid. Dilute this fermented juice 1 part juice to 500 parts water. Use as foliar spray or soil drench. This is probiotic fertilizer. The beneficial microbes colonize plant leaves and soil, improving nutrient uptake and disease resistance. What gets all my scraps? My trench composting feeds my entire vegetable garden. Every 2 weeks, I dig a new trench in a different location and bury 2 weeks' worth of kitchen scraps. Containerized plants get blended slurry monthly. The rapid decomposition suits container growing. Cost breakdown: vegetable peels $0. You already prepared the vegetables for meals. Time investment: 10 minutes every 2 weeks. How to combine SCRAPS for maximum RESULTS. The most powerful approach isn't using just one scrap, it's combining multiple scraps strategically for complete, balanced nutrition. Here's my complete NPK kitchen scrap fertilizer recipe. Combine equal parts dried coffee grounds for nitrogen, banana peel powder for potassium, and crushed eggshells for calcium and trace minerals. Mix these 3 together, store in a jar, apply 2 to 3 tablespoons per plant monthly worked into topsoil. This provides balanced nutrition rivaling commercial fertilizers, all 3 major nutrients plus calcium and micronutrients. For liquid fertilizer, combine banana peel tea, grass clipping tea, and cooking water in equal parts. Add 1 tablespoon of dissolved molasses per gallon. The molasses feeds soil microbes that help plants absorb nutrients. Use this combined liquid weekly as complete fertilization. Alternate between different scrap fertilizers: 1 week banana peels. Next week coffee grounds, next week grass clippings. This varied nutrition prevents any single nutrient from accumulating excessively. Plants receiving multiple kitchen scrap fertilizers show explosive growth, heavy flowering, and maximum yields matching or exceeding commercial fertilizer results. That's it: 8 kitchen scraps transformed into powerful plant food. Banana peels, eggshells, coffee grounds, cooking water, grass clippings, wood ash, vinegar, calcium extract, and vegetable peels. Every single one free, every single one effective, every single one producing real growth in my garden right now. You're already generating all of these. Starting today, instead of throwing them away, turn them into fertilizer. Save money, grow better plants. Create a closed-loop system where your kitchen feeds your garden and your garden feeds your kitchen. The total investment is $0. The time investment is minutes weekly. The results are dramatic. If this showed you that expensive fertilizers are completely unnecessary, smash that like button and subscribe to Plant Space Collective for more real, tested gardening solutions. Drop a comment telling me which kitchen scrap you're most excited to use. Now stop throwing away these valuable nutrients and start feeding your plants for free. Happy growing, and I'll see you in the next video.